Good time zone. And a happy birthday to all of those around the world. Medjehtiqedti's finally here. Very excited. Plus, we're finally visiting the last country on Terra. I've looked up voices for characters whom I think could appear. I don't know. Characters who I have seen will appear. Although two of them we don't really have ever had voices for because they've never really appeared. But we're good to go on that front. Yeah, Palace is actually appearing. Perfumer too, honestly. They've only really had their operator records. Of which I don't have Palace, so who knows what is going on with her. Perfumer, I constantly have to remind myself, is from Minos, because I always think she's from Victoria. It just feels like she's Victorian. Still gotta get the game updated on the emulator. But what do we got? What do we got? doesn't look like any modules. Oh, wait, no. Viviana, Odorer, Entelekia, and Rosa got second modules. I have to look at Viviana Odorers. We got op records for Flametail. Oh, snap. We have actual bug fixes with characters. Amazing. The game can now be paused while you deploy units. And we have a big art gallery now where we can look at event CGs, I think, which is awesome. Almost done with the update. What do we have? Perfumer is a abjurer. Five-star. For talent, other allies within attack range with HP percentage less than or equal to Perfumer will gain Sanctuary. She will heal target for 200% of attack and grant them 10% defense. With her skill 1, skill 2, attack speed increased, talent Sanctuary buff increased. Every heal will grant the target an attack buff, but also cause them to lose 1% max HP. She's Warfarin. That's a 30% attack at max. Warfarin does 90% attack at max. Not as strong as Warfarin. But she's a bit of a Warfarin. Shame she loses the global heal. Yeah. That is a shame. Oh, bam. Here we are. Medjehtiqedti Bound. We also got some tuning outfits. Intelekia, who still eludes me. Maybe one day. And a Blaze Igniting Spark. Carrying her groceries. It's not bad though. Not bad. I'll think about them. Well, I don't think I'll get the Intelekia one. Gotta be a bit more conservative with my outfit purchases, I think. Odor. Module. Branch talent changes to attacking all blocked enemies. Damage increased when attacking blocked enemies by 110%. Talent upgraded. Attack increases 130% when attacking enemy. Its target is stunned or bound. 160% attack instead. First instance of damage to a blocked enemy stuns them for 2.5 seconds. That's pretty good. That's not bad. Obviously, new life makes him a little more tanky. But AoE stun is pretty good. Makes him a Centurion pretty much. A Centurion with stun. But what was his? I have to look at his other skill. Viviana, her current one gives her burn damage. This one, enemies blocked receive 10% Arts Fragility. And when attacking elite leaders, 25% chance for a shield. 2 stacks. So it has a higher chance for the shield, but that's not a real problem when you have her third skill. Arts Fragility. I'd still go with Burn, because you can get Arts Fragility. You can get better Arts Fragility with other people. The Semblance Carrier. Fashion Gallery. Curated Gallery. Yeah, we can see all of our themes. Dynamic Gallery. Oh, that's the one that turns night and day. Right. the Lone Trail one's in here now. When's that gonna be available? Is that available? Because you gotta buy that one. Backgrounds. Profiles. Icons. The collection. Oh, it tells you everything that they have. Select one cosmetic item and I get... I don't know what this is. A loose sleeve of fashion collections that can be decorated. What is that? I don't know what I just got. Now available in fashion collections. I'll have to go look. Nothing there. Fashion collections first issue. Amiya's signature. Use owned outfits, cosmetic items, and stickers to create a personalized loose leaf for your profile that you can display. Select any loose leaf to see it in detail, add it to your profile, or customize it. You can tap on in use to see current loose leaf added to your name card. You can save or clear edits. You can. Some loose leaves have preset layouts. To add an outfit, add an operator outfit of your own. Add decals. You can adjust the positions. The custom loose leaf added to your profile will be displayed on the main page of Fashion Collection. Interesting. But where's the event art? But where's the event art I was promised? Memorial Gallery. Where's the Memorial Gallery? Because this is just integrated strategies. And this is, I don't even fully understand what loose leaf is. Memorial Gallery, it says it's added. After the update, Memorial Gallery will be added. It can be accessed from Score Memories. In this system... Score Memories. Is that in the episodes themselves? Okay, yeah, it's in the episodes themselves. Okay. Where's the one good thing from this event? It's not here. Ending a grand overture. Where's the scene of the random Victorian soldier grabbing the Sigh of Kings and to slay Nej Shalem? Where is it? The one cool thing. Okay, some of them have like multiple within one, so maybe it's in... There it is. They were hiding. Cool. We'll have to go through that. I'll have to go through that and favorite the ones. I don't know what favoriting does, I guess, besides letting you look at it. I don't want to click on that. Except letting you look at it more easily, I guess. Anyway, Medjehtiqedti. We're pulling because one of my favorite designs. Another incantation medic. I was gonna make a comment about all the healers deal damage nowadays. Because abjurers technically attack. And she's an incantation medic too. And even non-incantation medics are attacking nowadays. So yeah, all the medics attack nowadays. Nasty took too many rolls. I'm sorry to hear that. So, what does Medjehtiqedti do exactly? Frozen in time can attack sleeping enemies. And when attacking stationary enemies, deals an additional 15% attack as arch damage. When deployed, sleeping enemies will receive 30% of her attack as arch damage per second. Pretty cool. I don't have and have never used anyone who sleeps. Is that why Blumishine's in the kernel? Because she attacks sleep? I've only had Blumishine. Who else sleeps? Obviously, I know Kafka sleeps. Confession Booth sleeps. Oh yeah, Black Knight sleeps. Arado apparently sleeps. Necros. Eblana apparently sleeps people. Arado is also Minos. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't have a Minos team either, guys, so we're not going to be thematic this time around. I don't know if I've used a single Minos character ever in my life. Conviction. I haven't used her. Anyway, Talent 2, deployed Minos and Sargon operators gain Vigor of 20 ASPD when HP is above 50. Minos and Sargon. Now, I can do a Sargon team, but that does mean that we're going to be colonizers invading Sargon, or invading Minos again. It is also funny that the first Minos event, the main character, is Sargonian. Skill 1, Anti-Degradative. 100% attack. Every attack has a 50% chance to put the target to sleep for 3 seconds. Sealant. Stops attacking. Attack plus 180%. And puts herself and other operators in attack range with the lowest HP to sleep until the skill ends. Continuously puts enemies around herself and a target to sleep. Talent attack effect increases to 3.3 times. So she does the AoE damage. She does like the universal damage, but puts herself to sleep. And other operators. Is that our? I think that's. Is that our first time operators can be put to sleep? I don't think there's any enemies that put us to sleep. So I think that's the first time. What's her? I guess her ranges. Yeah. Okay. Can be manually deactivated. Interesting. History's Bloom. Attack 180%. Attacks 2 enemies simultaneously and attacks targets that are not asleep, puts them to sleep for 5 seconds. All enemies awaken from sleep or defeated during sleep receive arch damage based on the sleep duration up to 460% attack and put one other nearby enemy to sleep for 5 seconds. When other allied operators within attack range receive lethal damage, they are instead put to sleep until fully healed or skill ends. Oh snap, that's really cool. So she puts them in stasis. It's like I was gonna say Armor of Agathis, but that's not true. What am I thinking of? Ice block in World of Warcraft. That's what I'm thinking of. Encase yourself in a block of ice, making you immune to damage. Armor of Agathis is a D&D spell that gives you ice armor, but it does not. I thought there was a reaction spell that like puts you in a block of ice when you take fatal damage. Maybe that's a different one. I don't remember, but kind of the same thing here. So she'll attack 2 enemies simultaneously and put them to sleep for 5 seconds. When they wake up or are defeated, they'll receive damage, but if they're defeated, then it doesn't really matter. But the more important thing is that they'll then put nearby enemies to sleep, and the chain continues. Very interesting. Very cool. Sounds cool. Her module increases her damage dealt with her talent 1, which is, yeah, definitely the most important. And she is a workshop character. Sick. Good time zone. No ed. We got 10 tickets. Sounds cool, but Reed's altar is still better.
This is for you. It's a specimen box made from gemstones I collected.
You could just use both of them.
Turquoise, plum tourmaline.
Nothing's stopping you.
Captain of Reserve Op Team A6, Orchid.
Attention!
I know I will be.
Doberman, former military.
Actually, I probably won't. Actually, I'll probably have monsters still
Reserve
on the
Op
team.
Team A6 Catapult reporting in. Hey, I can tell you're hella different.
Caster Stewart reporting in.
I've used Reed for many years now, so she can be put on the bench. She can have a rest.
I'm Royal Detective May, and I ask you I'm Melenta.
Caster Stewart reporting in. I'm glad to be working with you.
Hello, Doctor.
Surfer.
I'm Surfer from
You're not
Blacksteel
perfumer.
Worldwide's Advanced Recon Team.
Wait, I wasted all that time for a surfer? Before we pull more, I don't know if I can buy more tickets. I haven't actually looked in a bit. No. I mean, I could buy these tickets if I wanted to. I could also buy Blimishine, finally. Do the kooky strat? I don't know what that means.
Lancer Fang, Captain of Reserve Op Team A1.
Acid Drop. Operator. This
Codename Erin, officially joining today.
This is
I have some Colonel tickets that I've never used, so I might as well just use them for Blimishine, right? Before I buy her.
I'm back, Doctor.
She's back.
These Baronias on your desk are fresh. It seems Podenko's been minding you and the convalescent garden well. Anywho, I'm back on Rhodes Island for a spell. Home for the holidays, I might say. No, that's a joke.
There we go.
I'm Vanilla, trainee operator from Blacksteel. Looking forward to learning from you, Doctor.
I'm Milenta.
Shu brought me here to hang. I think I wrote.
I'm Lava.
Grain Buzz
Caster.
apparently has sleep
Here to join you simply because I...
as well.
Reporting in! You must be the Doctor. Call me Myrtle.
I'm Lava, a caster. Here
Might
to
just be
join you
for
simply
animals,
because I'm
though.
bored and want something.
I didn't look it up.
Reporting in! You must be the Doctor. Call me Myrtle. Nini, Doctor. My name is rather tricky, so you may call me Titi, like all my friends do. But what you call me isn't important. I'm here to prepare my museum's new special exhibit. Are you and Rose Island interested in participating?
I'm Lava.
I'm just gonna call her Medjehtiqedti. Because that's just fun to say. Alright. We got that. Yeah, how many of these? I do have 15 tickets. Might as well try. I've never actually used the kernel before. Nope. Oh well. Alright. I believe I should have all the medics chips and everything. I say that every time though, and it's rarely true, but...
These are something like the artifact restoration tutorials I watched in Colombia. It looks easy when someone else does it, but the moment you try it yourself, you realize you have no idea where to even start.
Seven out of 5.
This is a Rose Island promotion? Using ancient investiture ceremonies in modern business management. Fascinating. I could try something like this in my museum.
Have you never heard of a promotion before? Ancient investiture ceremonies. Yeah, a promotion.
These are something like the artifact restoration tutorials I watched in Colombia. It looks easy when someone else does it, but the moment you try it yourself, you realize you have no idea where to
Alright,
even
just gotta
start.
make the chips, but let's get started. She doesn't need to be E2 right this second. Minoan's kind of weird. They're kind of weird. Is this the main level? Yeah, it is. Okay. And that's that. Okay. There isn't really, I don't think, a need for a recap on this event because it's its own thing for the most part. I mean, Medjehtiqedti was first introduced in Adventures Cannot Wait for the Sun. She works at the Varyavanabad Museum, which had a display of Minoan artifacts that Sargonians had stolen over the centuries. It was not a display that many people went to because the Sargonians just don't care. But I believe like Medjehtiqedti and the museum are trying to be ethical and are giving that section more prominence and/or returning anything that was stolen. I don't remember exactly what's happening, but they had met with Espasa, I believe her name was. Who was a Minoan who had gone there to recover one of the artifacts that was like a family medal or something. That wasn't actually the point of that event, but that was just a side plot line. And now I guess Medjehtiqedti is going to Minos. We'll find out why. I don't know if she talked about that, like I said, but I didn't look into it. What do we know about Minos? Forta dominated country, has been attacked, colonized, subjugated by Sargonians for centuries, takes a lot of cultural investment in athleticism with an Olympics game sort of version for Terra. Have a lot of heroic myths, put a lot of investment into the idea of heroes. And the arts and philosophy. I mean, they're ancient Greece. Cross the flowing river. The river brings back memories from home and surprise visitors. And so, Caracera, the singer of epics, the gentlest hero of Agamem, hung her harp upon the branches of the laurel tree, its body made from the tallest firs atop Mount Himnoi, its strings made from the bravest bird and beast that roam the Agnes plains. When it played, all things in the land of heroes sang together, riding upon the winds of freedom. Now Caracera hangs her harp by the laurels. The Outlanders have come from afar, said Caracera, clutching her knife tightly. They trample our land, set fire to our homes, and let the rivers cease their peaceful flow. And they command all things to sing for them. This alone wrenches my heart. My harp sings only the tales of the heroes. Karis Perea. While there's no specific mention in the records, historians generally agree that Padishah Mala most favored Athenius out of the 3 great nomadic cities that Sargon built for Minos. Sargonian and Minoan engineers took great pains to preserve its signature features as the mountain-rimmed garden when it moved to the nomadic plate. Today, you will see the same mountains and rivers as Caracera once did upon entering Athenius, through the mountain pass that Padishah Mala made it a point to preserve. This is a route that I highly recommend my readers. Oh, shut up. Just look at where your stupid book has led us. Oh, is that me? I don't know why Mio's here, by the way. I guess we'll get an explanation. I don't know why Mio's here. I did look up Mia's voice, but I also now forget it. Because it's not a voice I do a lot. Or potentially ever since Mio showed up, but... Let me look it up again. Because they were so... While I'm looking this up. Because so yeah, Mio and Woof were beast lords that were hanging out with Lazar, who was a gem seller, and they were originally supposed to like watch over the tomb with Zubair. But now that Zubair passed on, they're done with that. So I guess they're just free to do whatever they want. And did Mio like go hang out with Medjehtiqedti in the event? I don't remember. And this big, heavy piece of stupid crap we have to carry, just the 2 of us. Take it easy, calm down, no hitting. Like I wasn't tired enough after walking for days on end. You're one to talk, girl. Why did you decide on a whim to travel separately from the group? I would be lying in the Athenian flower fields drinking floral liqueur by now, if it wasn't for you. It wasn't on a whim. I told you my father used to tell stories about the place called Minos on the other side of the Agnes River. Stories that left a deep impression on me. And I told you it was an invaluable opportunity for diplomacy with Minos. I wanted to go to Athenius via Caracera's old route and experience history. You didn't have to experience history with this thing. It's gotta be, what, over 50 kilos, with just the 2 of us to carry it? Are you trying to experience the Yinni's idiom where you bear a bundle of logs to beg forgiveness? It's a bundle of thorns. The Yinnis wouldn't appreciate you rewriting their idioms. That's not the point. Have you got anything in that skull of yours besides history books? Alright, no hitting. I wasn't comfortable letting someone else handle it. This is the most valuable item in the Varyavanbadabad. Can say it every time, but this time. Museum's collection. An important relic to both Sargon and Minos. We came all this way to give it back to the Minoans, to build a new era of friendship between the two nations. Yeah, so they are returning some stuff. So you haven't forgotten your mission. Yay, clap, clap. You are lost. You are late. And you have missed your appointment with the Astronomus of Athenius, Medjehtiqedti Nastutu Masayer. Well, the rest of the mission would be in the city by now, using the normal route. I'm sure Ben Nui will explain to the Astronomos. Benui, that noble who thinks his scat smells like roses? Are you just acting dumb, or are you actually that dumb? Did you see that look on his face when he learned he was gonna be your assistant on the mission? It's like you've stolen 50 carts of pure gold from him. No, Benui is a very nice man. Taking on such an important mission, as soon as I became the curator of the Varyavanabad museum made me... Anyway, Benui's helped a lot on this journey. Fine, shoot yourself. I'm just tagging along as a tourist. Let's get going before we collapse from exhaustion. Yes, see? We're almost there. Look. Wow. I've read a lot about Athenius, but to actually find myself here. I see fields of flowers, floral liqueur, and flower cakes. Oh, we're saved. Minos, the land of 1,000 polis, separated from Sargon by a river. Here is Athenius, the first polis, the mountain-rimmed garden. As the city that Titi has only ever known through historical records reveals itself, she lays eyes on a scene very different from the sands of Sargon. White walls, green fields, rivers weaving their way through mountains, strange temples unabashedly announcing themselves on the mountaintops, and beside the rivers, if heroic epics are the rain that nourishes Minos, then these temples are the mushrooms that grow afterwards. No wonder this land has birthed so many famous plays, philosophers, stories, and legends, which not even the sands could bury. Hey, why are you pushing me? I haven't even caught my breath yet. For days, Titi has been placating her beast aristocrat companion, trying to wear a mask of calm for this journey. Now, though, she is even more eager than Mio to get into this city. You see the ferry crossing down there? We're not truly in the city until we cross over. Hurry now. Should I help? The river is freezing. I see ice floating on it, but all you have is an oar. That's more of a giant chainsaw.
Sit tight, Ithacos.
My luggage is not heavy. I can walk on my own.
Let me ferry you a little bit. There is little else I can do for you. It's been 2 years since you experienced divine revelation. Since our meeting. You taught us the knowledge you brought from the cities, built a village on the marsh that the Sargonians wouldn't bother with, farming the paddy fields and fending off the cold. We lived together, we were family.
For the past 2 years, I've been trying to figure out why divine revelation led me here. Now I understand. The Sargonians will appear on the riverbanks nearby. I can reach the place quickly by following this river out of the marshes.
I see.
Do you believe that the Guerrillas can defeat the Sargonians? Even though we've been losing for a century? Nods.
I haven't received any divine revelations, but I can't tell you the future, and I can't even leave with you. But I will promise that what I can, I'll protect our village, our houses, our farms and flower beds. Perhaps we can go to Athenius, where you to come from, once you're victorious. I'll still be a ferryman, ferrying you to your workplace at the temple on the other side of the city as the sun shines upon the Delphi Canal. I've been imagining the scene ever since you described it to me. Are you listening, Ithacos?
Minos is in for a cold winter this year, brother. Rose furiously. The ferryman shakes his head. What was his response to Ithacos? For many years he still could not remember. There you are, Master Xanthos. You're 10 minutes late.
I have never been late before, Lycaon. This is the first time.
I saw your chitin by the shore. I thought you might have dropped it yesterday when you left. Or a thief might have stolen it only to decide it was too old and ragged to keep. Little could I have imagined that you'd have gone for a morning swim. So, out of habit, I folded and stowed your chitin. You cannot reproach me for it, for you had not informed me of your schedule. It is I who should reproach you, for the doctor has warned you to be careful.
Thank you, Lycaon. Over the years, I have taught you how to fight and ferry, and you have handled my daily needs wholeheartedly. I am not reproaching you. I simply have to leave early today, so tardiness weighs heavily on my mind.
You're changing the topic again. Wait, are you going to the cemetery to visit?
Ithacos, my friend. He was only our age when we bid farewell. I never saw him again.
I should say some words of comfort, but I find them beyond my ability.
You should stay within your abilities. It's rarely your place to go beyond them. The fruit farmers and workers at the first temple have been in conflict over boat assignments for days. They're asking the dockmaster, me, to arbitrate. This is what we should be putting our minds to. let's go to the main crossing. It will be busy today.
One moment, Master Xanthos. Yeah, the Astronomos requests your presence at this secondary crossing today to repair the boats that are broken down.
No one in Athenius uses the word priority more than Lydia. What else did she say?
Nothing.
Is the Sargonian mission due to arrive today?
I think so.
Should I be grateful or angry that Lydia still remembers me? She should pull all the teeth out of my oars, or simply throw me in jail, so that I never get the chance to meet the Sargonian envoys coming to visit their old stomping grounds.
Excuse me, can we get the ride across? Too many people at the other crossings. We'll be late. What kind of creature is that? Upwards horns and big ears. I wonder. Could be an elder, perhaps. Also like a big bushy tail. You said your ambassador has been delayed by certain circumstances?
I mean no offense, as that is precisely the case. I beg your understanding, Astronomos. The Minoan vistas are beautiful, while Her Excellency is young and curious. She is bound to commit some youthful indiscretions. I say again, as Deputy Chief of Mission, and as the man invested with the titles of the ancient and exalted Sargonian House of Inshipa, I am equally empowered to act on the Empire's behalf.
Is this Benwi? Of course, I have the utmost confidence in you, Kyrios Benwi.
When do the Athenians intend to hold the ceremony then?
What ceremony?
The exchange ceremony. Our two nations formally established diplomatic relations at the beginning of this year. As part of our cultural exchange, we are repatriating our relics of Characeria, the founding hero of Minos, to Athenius. In exchange, we will receive the technical legacy that the Sargonians left behind during the construction of Athenius, Corinthia, and Lacedaemon. Surely you've not forgotten, honored Astamonos.
Of course not, Your Excellency. We stand now in the Astamonis' office, instead of elsewhere, because of the non-aggression pact that was signed following the last major battle between our two nations in the Minoan borderlands. Sorry, I have been rather overworked lately. I'm sure you saw the vast construction sites and passionate craftsmen as you passed by the Agora by the river when you entered the city.
Yes.
It's the rebuilding of the first temple. 1 in 5 Athenians are involved in the project.
The first temple?
As you said yourself, Characeria is the founding hero of Minos. Perhaps you've heard of her deeds? At the very beginning, she led refugees from scattered tribes out of war and plague and brought them to the garden encircled by mountains. Those who followed Characeria built the first temple of Minos here, and thus began the bloodline of heroes. After that came Athenius, the land of 1,000 polis. The first temple was lost to the fires of war. Now it is being rebuilt by the people of Athenius themselves. I'm sure the significance is not lost on you.
I understand.
To obtain the stone needed to rebuild the temple, however, we've kept Athenius by Mount Himnoi for an entire week. And it's apple season. Fresh apples need to be ferried out through the crossings, while unripe fruits need plenty of sunlight. The quality of the apples will be compromised if the city does not move to an area with more sunlight soon. I'm sure you saw the fruit farmers gathered at the crossings.
Yes, I did.
The people need to commemorate their heroes. The farmers need to ensure that their harvest is not ruined. You understand that an Astamonos does not have all that much power in the Minoan administrative system. I need the priest's approval for everything. I confess that I am rather overwhelmed right now.
Perhaps looking for excuses has eaten up too much of your time.
Your Excellency misunderstands. What game is this? This is Arknights. The best gacha game there is. I'm of a younger generation myself. At a time when all the Centrum powers are actively seeking change, I believe smaller nations like ours must keep up with the times. The exchange of Caracera's relics for the data from 3 Polis has been at least 6 months in the making. It is an honor to play a small part in facilitating the new friendship between Sargon and Minos after years of conflict. Maybe Minos and Yerrig should team up, it seems like.
Well, we'll see about that.
I suggest you and your mission take some time to see the city. The Athenian sites are spectacular, and I'm sure you'll find it well worth your time. Perhaps you could even visit the site of the first temple's rebuilding. After all, it is Caracera's relics that you are returning. Maybe this was ordained by fate. Minoans love drama and philosophy. We enjoy the rigor of preparation and logical deduction, but we also hope for pleasant surprises. As for the exchange, we will hold a formal ceremony in a couple of days. By Minoan tradition, ceremonial occasions begin with a play directed by the priests imploring the heroes to bless the occasion and ensure that everything goes smoothly. However, Athenius created the post of Astonomos 2 years ago to reduce the burden on the priests and simplify procedures. Therefore, I've already assigned someone to begin preparations. My trusty aide and Gramnateus here will make comprehensive arrangements for you during your stay. Seek him out if you have any issues. Academos. Look at this guy.
Here. Academos, nobody of Minos, the blaring megaphone at your service during working hours.
Why does he have a dozen watches on his arm?
I have no use for this, for some pretty boy. I mean, it's been a long journey and I'm tired. I will wait at the hotel until the arrangements for the exchange ceremony are made. As for visiting the first temple rebuilding site, I will leave the opportunity to Her Excellency the Ambassador. She is a musologist, full of energy. I am sure she'll be very interested.
I see. I will have Hakademos speak to Ambassador Medjehtiqedti directly.
I look forward to what pleasant surprise you have to offer, Astonomos. But I hope I don't learn you are stalling for time or hiding some ulterior motive.
I could say the same to you, Kyrios Benui. Look out the window. The morning mist on the Delphi Canal is just beginning to dissipate. This peace wasn't easy to win. I hope we can all be honest with each other. What a shame that I didn't have the opportunity to see Kyria Masaer today. Young and promising, yet mercurial. What is she like? I really like Lydia's suit. Great outfit she's got on. Oh, please. You're only just put one foot on the boat. Look at you. It's tipping. It's a boat. It's supposed to do that. Didn't you say you signed up for the yacht club when you studied in Max DC? I was too busy with my studies. Most of my time was spent either in the restoration room or at archaeological sites. And it ended up going there twice.
So you're from Colombia. I thought by your garb that you were...
Master Zenthos.
What?
She's boat sick.
A rare occurrence.
I am not. My legs are just tired from all the walking and buckled a little. What do we do?
Take the luggage on the boat. I'll go and get something. Take her into the cabin. The waves are not strong today and the boat should sail steady. The Delphi Canal treats those with good intentions kindly. We'll go to the main crossing once we've delivered her, to see the Sargonian ambassador. Can't let the Astronomos' head up go to waste, can we?
I'll come with you, Master Xanthos. I must keep an eye on you.
Bring the passenger's luggage first.
They weren't listening to me. You're missing the point. They've got a vendetta against you. It's not too late to switch your nationality to Colombian. Don't... please be careful. This is very important. Hey, you... Oh, forget it. Let's just get on the boat. And suddenly we're at sea.
It's really heavy. What is it?
It's... movie figurines from Rank Wood. What that we're planning to sell here? We've even got ones from the latest hit, Lady Dupont. Hey, shout out to Lady Dupont. That actually gives us, because we weren't told. Oh snap. We weren't told when Act or Die took place. But I do believe we know when Adventure in the Sun takes place. I think Adventure in the Sun is in the 1100s, which means that this event is also obviously after that. So Lady Dupont, if it's a latest hit, Act or Die does happen in the 1100s. which is expected. I feel like it's not that. I didn't think it was much. Would have been much earlier or anything.
There are no cinemas in Athenius.
That's the point. You want to sell shoes, you do it in a country where everyone's barefoot. Did you say the Delphine Canal will treat those with good intentions kindly, Master Ferryman? Nods.
The source of the Delphi River is on Mount Himnoi, following through the plains between the Minoan Mountains, past the former sites of Athenius and Corinthia from before they became nomadic cities. It helped our warriors fend off the iron hooves of the Sargonian raiders. It has been turned into a canal now, but it continues to nurture singers and debaters, and the culture of Minos. Yes, the Delphi Canal will treat those with good intentions kindly, except Sargonians.
Perhaps there are Sargonians who understand and love Minoan culture.
The last Sargonian who introduced herself with those words was the sister of the Shah Shahanshah, Mala, Queen of the Far Shore. She burned every Minoan city but the 3 polis to the ground, closed the temples, banned the plays, imported Sargonians, and assimilated Minoan culture in every way possible. She brought the darkest age upon our country. She showed her understanding and love by bleeding the heroic blood of the Minoans dry. Is this ambassador from far away another shameless noble who seeks to be the queen of the far shore by trampling Minos underfoot?
Listen. Hey, is it tipping again? Oh, we got these little effect animations too. I guess that's a Sargonian thing. Yeah. Well, help. Ugh.
Never mind all of that. Have an apple, it will settle your stomach.
So you had gone to get an apple.
Thanks.
I don't know. That wasn't the She doesn't have a mask on. Thanks.
Keep your eyes closed and don't look at the water. You'll feel better that way.
I'll be fine. I want to see it. Leaning against the side of the boat, Titi forces her eyes open. The sun is hanging high above. The morning mist of the Delphi Canal in autumn has completely dissipated. And the last cool touch of the wind brushes against her cheeks. I know the blade of vengeance and the decapitation of the conqueror are core themes in Minoan drama, but I've seen more thought-provoking expressions as well. I will see each and every one clearly with my own eyes. I came to Athenius to...
To what?
Look, there. Even though I feel like I am going to throw up all of my internal organs, I still see this river and this city. They're so beautiful. I think I love this place.
I am honored to hear you say as much. We're here. I wish you a joyful and safe trip in Minos.
Starting off with the tutorial. When in Minos, do as the Minoans do. They've given us a mostly Minoan team. Welcome to Athenius. The city welcomes one and all, no matter where you hail from, unless you're Sargonian. Minoans love theater and can often be found reenacting heroic epics on the streets. Their passion may run a little hot, but you're always welcome to join in the fun. Do I have to join in?
I'll do my best.
We got spear throwers. And we've got someone carrying a massive amphor. I don't know what to do. I seem to need more SP to cast my skills. Maybe you're too reserved. Since you're still a stranger to street theater, well, try filling these flower founts with water and immerse yourself in the fragrance. Do heals activate the waterways and fill the fountain pools? What a splendid design. When the water level is over half of the pool's capacity, excess water will flow into adjacent pools with lower water levels. Got water mechanics again. Healing aside, you can also have the apprentice priests fill up the fountain pools. But they're busy enough as it is, so if you wish for their help, you'll have to be smart about it. By killing them? I guess kill them at the right spot, it looks like. Once all connected flower pools are full, adjacent tiles will be affected by flower fragrance. Units on this tile will be immersed in the street plays, and the status that lasts for a short time, even after leaving affected tiles. Enemies in this immersed state will have reduced hit rate and movement speed, and some enemies will suffer extra special effects. Meanwhile, operators will gain increased SP recovery, so be sure to enjoy the perfumes and epics together. Oh, they throw the spear once? That's clever, actually. And they take out a Gladys.
I shall witness your end.
This is where you stop.
What wonderful scenery. Fine.
How satisfying. Oh, is that stone pillar capital really flying? Oh, I see you're fully immersed in the Athenian fragrances. Once the meter of the lower left of the operator is full, illusions will appear, and only immersed operators can attack them. Don't worry, they're just mirages. Waver not, and you shall be safe from harm. Hero's Call can only be attacked by and is prioritized by immersed operators. This appears after taking a certain number of attacks. So they get increased recovery, but they also have to then attack fake enemies.
Don't be afraid.
sometimes.
Tremble in the face of true bravery.
That's it.
Approaching the destination.
Oui.
I'll show you how a Minoan fights!
Well,
Oh, heroes, stand together with us for the paramount power of faith.
Very well done, Doctor.
can't believe we want our operators to get high in this event. So merge operators recover SP, but we'll have to sometimes fight hero calls. Enemies get debuffed. Strange. Work and hours are always busy, while the morning linger in the old dreams. So, Minoans. Sidoroka is a Minoan. Never upgraded her, although I thought about it first a couple years ago. Conviction's a Minoan. That's a joke. Vulcan's a Minoan. Don't have her upgraded. Never thought about that one. Palace I don't own. Arado is Minoan, never upgraded her. Yeah, Perfumer. That's it. Sargonians though, we've got a lot more options, I think. A little bit. Honestly, not a lot for me. Beeswax. Bubble never used. Estella never used. Enectes never used. Flint never used. Hadia never used. Castrol never used. Manticore never used. Minimalist. I mean, Minimalist is Sargonian faction, but technically he's a Durin. He's from Zetaret, so that's not Sargonian. Northern Tuda don't have. Papyrus never use. Passenger don't use. Pepe don't have. Filet. I did not upgrade, I don't think. No. Sand Reckoner, didn't upgrade. Scene, I guess I could use. Sesa is a Sargonian, apparently. Potter is Sargonian, apparently. Even though I'm pretty sure in the story he was hanging out with Colombian mercenaries, but I guess he's Sargonian. Tui didn't use. Wolfenright. Do I even have Wolfenright? Is Wolfenright even out? Wolfenright might not be out yet. No, they are out. I just don't have them. Carnelian. Never upgraded. We do have Gavial. Yeah, so we can't really do much of a theme this time around. Oh well. It's crazy how I've just not used characters from either of those countries.
There's some new artifacts that need to go into storage. Shall we go see?
We'll bring Gavial though, why not?
Leave the front to me. The rear is all yours.
I don't get to use it very much anyway. Who else? We've got Old Perfumer.
With pleasure.
Our second medic. I'll use Totter.
Orders ASAP, please.
I guess I'll use Scene.
Teammate data acquired.
And that's all we've got. Well, beeswax too.
Where are we going this time?
Medic only team. Medic only team's getting more and more viable as every medic now does damage. And 2 medics even have melee blockers. Never upgraded Manticore, did I? Nope. Okay. That's fine. Well, everyone else, we're just gonna bring whoever.
I have learned some new
Need a Vanguard.
since the last battle.
I bet Kyobi visited Minos at some point.
All ears, Doctor.
We'll go with that. Bet she did. Bring Nasty to still use her.
Rhodes Island's many operators working multiple jobs is a common sight at Rhine Lab as well.
I need more. Oh, this Scarm is Sargonian, apparently.
I'm ready.
And last but not least,
I get it now. Whatever you want to blow up, I'll wipe it off the face of this land.
do I have anyone else? I don't think so. Fast redeploy. I don't know.
Leave it to me, Doctor.
This team. We'll see how long this team can hold out. Depressed. Man. I've been dreaming about the goodies again, Cassandra. Oh, damn. Those are massive horns. Also, where are they growing on her head? They look like they're above her head. This is the third time you've come to Endymion Temple to ask for a dream reading, Magus. You still dream of that night 7 years ago? Yes. We hid in the forest on that dark night. The Zargonians surround the wood, hunting for us. We could not make a sound, let alone risk a light. We had to disassemble our weapons in pitch darkness. Screws, springs, oranginium components. I tied the parts of my arts unit to my clothes and shoes, disguised as accessories. The fear had come so cold. The fear had me so cold that I did not notice when an oranginium component had cut out my palm open. I thought the wet stuff was sweat. When the sun rose, we walked past a Sargonian disguised as lumberjacks from a nearby village. About a dozen in total. We'd be dead if they saw through our disguises. They sized us up. For a moment there, I thought the game was up. In my panic, I tripped over a tree root and plunged into the mud face first. The Sargonian laughed and rapped on my shoulder with the hilt of his sword disdainfully. But I was happy. I knew we were safe. I keep dreaming about it. You think... You want to know if it's a divine revelation? Last year I saw with my own eyes how the heroes spoke their will through you on the Agora. You are the speaker of the heroes of Minos and the only priest in Athenius who can tell a divine revelation from a normal dream. If the gods will take that I... If the gods will that I take up arms, then I will, no matter how much I fear. Please sit down. Your legs are trembling and your face is pale. The heroes of Minos will not force their children back into that nightmare when they have already seen so much of the horrors of war. You mean? I think you have misinterpreted the revelation. Wisdom and courage shine upon you and your friends in place of the twin moons who closed their eyes and delivered you in the morn just as you woke from dream to greet the beautiful Athenian dawn. The virtues of the heroes should be praised, but the pain that has lingered for 7 years has blinded you to the beautiful fruit that has ripened on the branches of fate. Pick it, and for it the hero's blessing upon you. Blessing on an ordinary Minoan like me? Our gods and heroes were once ordinary Minoans. Thank you, Cassandra. I'm beginning to understand. Is this... I assume a bull person of some sort. I've come to relieve you, Cassandra. It's already time. So many visitors to the temple today. You have so much on your plate, not just with visitors to Endymion Temple, but also acting on behalf of the head priests of Caesaria's first temple and administrative duties while the position remains vacant. There's no need to worry for me, Folia. It is my calling to interpret revelation and speak on behalf of the gods. So you should know better than I do that the man's dreams was mundane, not a divine revelation. So use more Columbian words. He may have post-traumatic stress disorder, I know. Why didn't you tell him? Divine revelation should be an honor for any Minoan, but there were only shame and fear in his eyes. He wants to receive guidance from the gods, but he fears that the nightmare is truly a revelation that he cannot refuse. If he believes in my interpretation more than he believes in himself, then I have a responsibility to make his life a little easier, if nothing else. I'll prepare some herbal tea with a soothing effect for him, and ask a doctor to follow up. You have the afternoon off, don't you? You should stop spending it on the temple and focus on yourself. Thank you, Folia. You take so much weight off my shoulders. Okay. She met up with Hecademos. It would have been really funny if we never saw this guy again. if Benwee turning him down just like removed him completely from the story. I'm so very sorry, Hecademos. I dozed off as soon as I reached the hotel. I did not realize I would make you wait for a full 3 hours. There's no need to worry, Kyria Massayer. Waiting is part of the job for the Astronomus Grammateus. You still look weak. Are you sure you want to visit the first temple right now, or you can rest a little longer? Yes, I'm sure. If anything will bring me back to full strength right now, it is Caesaria's first temple. I understand the original site of the temple was where Caesaria and the founding hero of Minos first received divine revelation in the mountains. The first temple that she built there became the genesis of Minos. When Sargon invaded Minos, they rebuilt the three great polis as nomadic cities, but Caesaria's war-torn first temple remained where it is. Now, after a century, Athenius is rebuilding this temple, giving me the opportunity to see the historic building in its original form. This is incredibly exciting. You are surprisingly well versed in Minoan history and surprisingly honest. Unfortunately, the original plans of the first temple have been lost and thus cannot be perfectly recreated. However, there is quite a bit of classical tradition in the way that they're building the temple. What do you mean? To revive the Minoan spirit, we must emulate the heroes who built Athenius, and build a temple on our own accord. Before the referendum took place, these words by the original proponent moved everyone's hearts. And the vote on rebuilding the temple passed almost unanimously. No engineering blueprint, no staffing. Caesaria's first temple shall be built through the passion of the Minoan people and the veneration of the heroes that flows in their veins. Wow, a living example of the Minoan spontaneousness that has driven so many artistic achievements. Thank you. I hope it's completed soon. Rebuilding in the classic style. How interesting. The proponent of the rebuilding must be the ambitious hero beloved by the people. How can I describe that Forta lady? Why is she taking so much time to think? Did you ask a question you shouldn't have? Even if I did, I'm sure Hecatomos won't mind. He looks so nice, after all. Maybe he's choosing his words carefully with a Minoan love of poetry. Give me 3 seconds, Kyrie Masair. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Alright. You have thought of the answer? No, it's now 5 o'clock and my shift is over. I'll answer your question tomorrow, when I'm back at work. Enjoy your visit. But we aren't even at the first temple yet. See those scaffolds? This street is a stone's throw from the main entrance of the temple. I'm sure you can find your own way. Wait. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a drinking engagement with a friend. He'll kill me if I'm late. Goodbye. Yeah, you gotta respect the work-life balance. You know, I was worried that the Astronomos' Grammateus would just take me around to see the mundane tourist sites, leaving me with nothing to talk about when we get back. You've got a way of smoothing things over for people, you know that? If you ask me, I think the differential-looking Libery kid just enjoyed a 3-hour break. Well, no need to complain. There's plenty of time. Let's check the surrounding area. This is the land of heroes after all. Maybe we'll walk out the door and straight into a heroic epic. I knew it, you came looking for adventure. Rats. I came to you when I left the Grand Bazaar because I wanted a sugar mommy with money. Little did I know you were such a troublemaker. Hey, wait for me. Incredible. Got you. Keep your distance. That's no way to treat your old preschool classmate. I remember you were much more passionate back when we participated in debate competitions at Theros Temple. Quiet down already, loudmouth. Looks like you know that I've come to debate you. Don't worry, if you lose, I'll sing your defeat through a megaphone and standard hexameter. Besides, you're the one who gave me the nickname Blaring Megaphone in return. I called you... Eloquent Rock, Blaring Megaphone. So glad the two great Athenian debaters are here. We're saved. Come with me. The apple farmers are making a scene in the temple, saying that the construction workers are delaying the quarrying to ruin this year's harvest by keeping the apples from sunlight. What about Pallas? The people may have chosen to build a temple of their own accord, but she was the initial proponent. Why don't you talk to her to resolve your disputes? The Pallas was the one who proposed it. That's why he had no words. Pallas has been crazy busy lately. No one's seen her since last night. Maybe someone else needed her. When people heard about it, they were all excited to emulate the heroes in building the temple, doing so much or as little work anyone had time for. Who could have thought that things would get so chaotic, even delaying the city's move to sunnier climes? I guess I should say climates. Please, find us a solution through debate, or at least find us a loser. I guess the two of us in a room naturally drives people to think of debate. That's why I said keep your distance and keep quiet. How was I supposed to know? Just because you're smart doesn't mean you should skip the explanation and go straight to the conclusion. Oh, actually, no, that's not right. I did come to debate you. Everything works out. I'm busy. Always the same excuse all after all these years. How on terror did you win that debate championship with such a bland tongue? Thank you. You won't muddle your way out of this. For years, you've been running before I can finish the word debate. Don't forget that there's still a competition we haven't settled. Come on! Who are you arguing for? The fruit farmers or the temple workers? You've known me long enough to know I don't lie. I'm going to the new oropathy clinic to get medicine. Can you move? What? Oropathy medicine? Didn't he pick up some last Wednesday? Is he getting worse? I need to find out. Hey, don't go! The fruit farmers and our guys are about to come to blows. Who's gonna solve our problem? We can't just pull some random soul off the street. Oh, gosh. Look, Mio. So many people here in the temple. Look like the Athenians are really excited to rebuild it. I feel like joining in myself. Excuse me, sir. Are you looking for someone to help?
Do be careful, everyone.
Novice Acolytes refills a nearby fountain, heals nearby enemies. Winter faded. So they'll also heal, eh?
What kind of battle will it end up being? I wonder.
I'll take the lead. The rest is up to you guys.
Easy does it.
Should just anaphor these, or anaphor. I should just Yato the Amaphor guys. There we go.
Standing by.
They're fast on the move, but I can still read their tracks.
Javelineer becomes melee if range attack misses. Ah, okay.
something that moves the moment, restoring the flexibility of the fabric. Just relax and leave it to me.
Okay, so that one's only a 40% chance to actually put them to sleep, I see. Okay.
I won't be afraid.
Mission accomplished.
Are you moving or not? No. Are you moving or not? No. What passionate debate. I can feel the heroic blood in their voices. But they're not actually saying anything. They're just yelling at the top of their lungs. I don't even know what they're saying. The dispute over Athenius' route has been brewing between the fruit farmers and the temple builders for ages. Embarrassing, really, to make a random tourist out the street try to solve our dispute. Heck, even I couldn't tell half of what they're saying. You said you wanted to know what they're saying. Stop looking for trouble, TT. This random tourist out the street has an idea. Hey, don't just wander in there, things could get rough. The craftsman rep and the militiamen arguing on behalf of the fruit farmers are not budging in the slightest, their faces red with anger. They fail to notice the pair of pointy black ears poking out from beneath the stone table. The tiny feline girl leaps out and grabs their hands with a grin, bringing them together in a handshake. Caught off guard, the two reps lose their balance and topple onto the stone table, staring at that jolly intruder. Who brought this girl to the temple? This is no place for children. So, see, you're so unreasonable. Even an outlander is embarrassed. You're a disgrace to Athenius. Stop adding fuel to the fire. Listen, girl, this is Minoan business. We don't need some foreigner telling us how to make up. Who said anything about making up? The only way to solve a problem is to face it directly. How long do you think the peace would last, even if you made up here and now? Besides, when in Minos, do as the Minoans do. The heroic epics and fantastical stories of Minos are full of ancient wisdom. You don't need me to tell you how to solve your problems. They say the mere mention of Araxes, the great Minoan warrior, sent enemies fleeing in terror. But he never raised a hand against his fellow Minoans. If someone insulted him, he would challenge them to arm wrestling. Settle it with a contest of strength. Sounds good, spares us a sore throat. I'm not done yet. There is another legend about a silent hero who was bold and passionate youth, surrounded by flowers and adoration. As fate would have it, he learned a forbidden secret, knowledge that no one should possess, so he kept silent for 30 years. Wait, we know the legend of Araxes, but who's this silent hero? Did you just make him up on the spot? Oh, it's a Minoan tale that my father used to tell me. It's rather obscure, but it's a really good parable. Now, anyway, I propose that you follow in the footsteps of ancient Minoans and settle this with an arm wrestling match. But with one extra condition. You only get to talk if you win, no matter how pissed you might be. Never heard of that rule before. Are you poor with words or weak of limb? Enough talk, let's do this. Alright, the first temple arm wrestling tournament is on. Ready, set, go! Well, the militiaman looks lean, but he's got skill. He takes round one when the big guy loses focus for a second. Wow, that is... that is quite the helmet. Shut up, loser. Losers don't get to talk. New apples can't get out with all the stone piled up at the crossing. The orchids are all in the mountain shadow, and the apples aren't ripened yet. Don't get any... I can't read. And the apples that haven't ripened yet don't get any sun. This whole festival... the whole harvest is going to the dumps at this rate. One 0, round 2. Hey, those muscles ain't for nothing. Looks like hauling marble is good exercise. We can't move the stone until the apples are out of the way. Besides, the building of the first temple was inspired by the Minoan heroes. Who's going to take responsibility if work's delayed? You? 1-0. Next. Apple harvesting and stone hauling, I see. Minoans sure are fun to watch, but things get less interesting when they start getting tired. Hey, why did they stop? They've realized the arm wrestling isn't about determining a victor, but giving them an opportunity to heal each other out. When you're angry, your ears stop working. And even simple things become complicated, much less long-standing disputes. You're more thoughtful than you look. But how do you solve the core problem now that you've gotten emotion out of the way? Aha. Looks like it's a draw.
Yo, Glady.
Call me Titi.
It's not like we screwed the fruit farmers on purpose, Titi. We got a lot of hands in the rebuilding, but they only quarry stone when they please. Where they please. I brought 15 tons of marble down the mountain by myself yesterday, and it's still far from enough.
Look, we understand, but the apples don't care. Increasing quarrying efficiency. And while getting enough sun for the apples, why don't you meet in the middle then? What do you mean? Just remove the peak that's blocking the sunlight.
Some middle, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. It is intriguing though.
Out of personal curiosity, I studied the urban planning and natural environment of Athenius on my way here. The peak that's in the way of the sunlight is only a secondary peak with soft soil at the top and a large marble layer underneath it. It would make an excellent quarry. You mean that we can get sunlight to the orchards by leveling the peak without having to change the city's route? Is that even possible? The fruit farmers must join the quarriers. Adding more hands is the quickest way to increase efficiency. We'll also need to get the craftsmen scattered across the mountains together. If you can carry 15 tons of marble a day by yourself,
then leveling the peak is not impossible.
The rebuilding of the temple was the collective decision of the citizens of Athenius. We certainly won't complain if we can solve the sunlight problem at the same time. We'll go talk to the farmers. Problem solved.
All thanks to you, TT.
Don't mention it. Looks amazing, even if it's in complete state. Now, I'm even more curious about the one running this project. Speaking of which, we still have a problem. What is it? Your original proponent of the first temple project, Palace, went missing last night. Are you sure she's not just drunk somewhere?
Our joy was for the both of us, but now eternal peace is yours alone. The breeze in the mountains of Heria and the rivers of the Agnes Plain shall shine in your eyes no more. Neither shall my heart know the tranquility of night and the leisure of day again. It's been 7 years, Ithakos, old friend.
The tall warrior places the cyclamen flowers before the white grave marker. His movements are light and gentle, but several white petals still fall upon the ground.
You're late.
I'm simply passing through, on my way to a bird and beast ranch with a view.
You can find all the excuses you want, but you know you can't let it go. Neither can I.
We haven't once visited the Endymion Temple in your 5 years in Athenius. The first and last time you came was when you brought Ithakos' bloody chitin.
I don't need the guidance of the heroes.
But you continue to dream the same dream. You blame yourself for sending Ithakos across the river to the battle where he died.
The river runs only in my dreams now, since the Sargonians built a dam upstream.
The Sargonians dammed off the river too?
It brought the melting snow from Hera's Peak to my homeland, and it brought him.
Ithakos was one of the few true friends that I had. One who was never concerned for who I am or what I can do. His family was tormented by the fires of war, and his father lived most of his life as a broken man. But he would not accept the same fate. His eyes were bright and eager when he received divine revelation. Whatever the outcome, he found a friend and a brother in you. Did he ever visit you in your dreams, telling you not to mourn him anymore?
It's your place to interpret dreams, and mine to mourn and remember. I will soothe my rage in my own way.
The war is over. Sargon has signed a non-aggression pact with us, and this visit by the Sargonian mission is a symbol of our new relationship.
I know that. Lydia made a point to put me in my place. The first astronomos in Athenian history elected by popular vote, empowered to handle diplomatic matters and certain public issues independent of the council and the priests. She's caused you a fair share of trouble, hasn't she?
Endymion Temple has not been affected yet. But some fringe clerics and the roles of their temples are being marginalized. Besides, Caracera, her first temple is nearing completion. There should be a ceremonial play organized by the priest to call the spirit of Caracera to the temple and grant Minos her protection. Now the play is being organized by the Astronomos' office. The Astronomos purported to assent when I discussed this matter with her a few days ago, but she was evasive when it came to the program we'd choose.
To her, the priests and the ceremonies are just props to promote Minoan tourism. Your insistence on using canonized classical drama will only be seen as an act of aggression by the priesthood.
I understand that. Reform is inevitable, but...
Some things will not and cannot change. Lydia's little power plays on the administrative side are none of my business. But I won't stand idly by if the Sargodian visitors have ill intent. I'm no hero, just an ordinary infected. I don't need the guidance of divine revelation. But I still dream. If I tell you that I dreamt of a river running red with blood, as Ithacos did 9 years ago, how would you interpret it?
Xanthos.
Excuse me. I have work to do at the crossing, and an apprentice waiting for me.
You're really too kind, TT. Not only did you solve our dispute with the fruit farmers, you're also helping us look for Pallas. It's nothing. Besides, I want to meet the one who came up with the temple project face to face. This Pallas was last seen at the crossing? Yeah. She was sitting on the docks drinking and muttering in the direction of the distant Mount Himnoi. She's helped us with so many things since the rebuilding of the temple began, although she does not hold any position in temples of Athenius, and Cassandra from the Endymion temple is the one in charge of the responsibilities that are above board. Pallas was the one who took care of everything behind the scenes, from the division of labor to procurement to smoothing things over with the right people. I see. It is certainly concerning that someone so reliable would go missing all of a sudden. Yeah, well, it's not the first time. Almost forgot to ask. What does she look like? A small Forta woman. Always seems like she's half asleep. She wears a little flower on her head. She wears that? It's not growing out of her? A little flower, the kind with 2 leaves and the petals so red you can't see the wrinkles? Yes, how did you know? Does it look like that? The craftsman turns in the direction that Titi is pointing, to see a small red flower swaying gently in a pile of apples. Yes, it does, but that's one of the flowers... or the apple farmer's crates, isn't it? What's a flower doing there? Wait, there's something inside, duck! How did she get buried under a pile of apples? It was as though the crate that has just woken up, sending ripe apples pouring across the docks, falling into the clear waters of the Delphi Canal. A Forta slides out from the bed of fruit, rubbing her eyes at the sudden influx of bright sunlight. Pallas? Guys, no need for the boat. We found her. This is Pallas, the people's hero, the proponent and reliable supervisor of the rebuilding plan. She's not quite what I imagined. Titi approaches the young woman on the ground curiously. She examines the horns for the signs of battle, trying to determine her weapon's construction, whether it is able to support unique Oranginium arts. She even has the urge to reach for the mysterious little flower that seems as if it is a boon from the Minoan heroes. If Titi senses anything unusual, But Titi senses nothing unusual except the sweet scent of flowers. The young woman seems to have woken up. Titi leans in to hear what she's muttering. And Himnoi. The Western Peaks. Level it to let sunlight. Tell the farmers and workers that's missing. Yes, apple cider should be shared. Leveling the peak to solve the sunlight problem. So she came to the same conclusion I did. She's thinking about the rebuilding the temple even in her sleep. Who says a hero has to be big and brawny? How could I forget that I'm in Minos and not Sargon? Who are you? We meet at last, Palace. First proponent of the rebuilding of Caesaria's first temple. I'm Medjehtiqedti Nasutu Masaer, ambassador from Sargon. My friends call me Titi.
Target down. Mission clear. No setbacks.
Ostracon, an essential item for Athenian citizens when voting. But what to do with used ostraca? Astronomos' office decided to collect and wrap them up nicely for tourist souvenirs, and this innovative idea was well received by all. Even though everyone has a terminal load with all kinds of apps these days, Minoans still prefer to follow their ancient traditions. Destined end. Already? We already are at the end. One has to stop at some point, even on a path without end, but sometimes we do not even realize if we have reached the end. Switch over to skill 2. So, stops attacking, puts herself and other operators to sleep. Putting enemies to sleep, dealing damage.
Everyone have a look at the plan. It's different from yesterday's. Well, I just now got a new idea. So, any issues?
You got the workers and farmers to calm down by having them arm wrestle as Heraxes did. You are a clever one, TT. Whoops. But you already found the solution last night. You just fell asleep in a pile of apples due to exhaustion. Shame about the apple cider. You were planning to treat the workers and farmers and get them to work together after they got a little tipsy, weren't you? Correct. But it's being put to good use to treat an honored guest. No better medicine for boat sickness. If you're still feeling it, yamas. I assume that means cheers in Greek. Yamas. Oh, so sweet. This is good. Please tell me honestly, even though we had the same idea, was it perhaps inappropriate for me to interfere with the rebuilding of the first temple? Because you're the Sargonian ambassador? Because Sargon was. Just answer this question, TT. Do you think the White Man King's conquest of Minos was necessary? No. Even though it distracted Sargonians from internal strife. The Empire needs to solve its own issues. Blaming it on innocent neighbors is a sign of incompetence. Although I probably wouldn't be so frank back in Sargon. Fine words, fine words. Have another drink, Yamas. I didn't think a woman so carefree and whimsical would be so pointed when discussing history. As long as your answer comes from the heart and not concern for your own safety, I think we'll become very good friends. Priestess Palace. Is this how you address a friend? Then just Palace. I believe one must not forget oneself no matter where one goes. Pepe, a friend of mine back in Sargon, says my train of thought is all over the place and I have no common sense, but that's another matter entirely. Looks like Sargon Parishas made a wise choice in picking you to lead the mission. Don't worry, the workers and farmers are very fond of you. We know a bad egg when we see one, and we don't hate all Sargonians. Besides, at times like these, simply participating in the rebuilding of the first temple is hardly crossing any lines, as long as it helps solve problems. Yeah, what do you mean? Look at the pillars, reliefs, and decorations inside the temple. Most of the details are unfinished. The amphitheater outside, that snow slope with the audience seats, so anyone behind the third row can't see what's going on in the center. And Caracera statue that's supposed to be in the middle of the theater, it's still being polished by its perfectionist sculpture. And that's a huge-ass problem. No need to weigh your words. It's not like we're writing poetry. Everyone knows that our progress has been way behind schedule. Another drink, Opa. Now, there's no hard and fast deadline. Things will get done eventually, even if the pursuit of perfection keeps delaying things. But a lot of people will be affected if the delays continue. The orchid harvests. Yes, I'm wrestling in cider might solve things next time, or it may not even. Speaking of cider, you're going through it quickly. Want another cup? Please, I do have a question though. What is it? You help the craftsmen solve their problems and they rely on you, but you don't look concerned at all, even though you're supposed to be the project supervisor. No, I wasn't ever the supervisor. Say what now? The old tradition only calls for a priest, in this case Cassandra, to give the go-ahead. There's no supervisor for the project itself. It's not a job for an idle drunk like me. However, you look like a reasonable gal. You can catch on quick. Takes another swill? What did you say? I was distracted. Oh, nothing. You went through a whole bottle already. You sure can hold your drink. My brew's pretty strong, you know. Yeah, something's not right. Didn't you say this cider would help with my boat sickness? I only seem to be getting dizzier and dizzier. Booze dizziness beats water dizziness, right? Drink until you pass out, and everything will be fine when you wake up the next morning, including a bit of boat sickness. Meanwhile, I'm sorry, Father, Mother. I've been infected with oopathy. Your line of work would never let an infected take over, so now I'm free to do what I want, right? I know I can't stay at home any longer. I'll be moving out as soon as I can. Don't worry about me. I'm capable to care for myself now, and I don't need to trouble my family for anything. But if it's alright, could you leave my flower garden where it is? They're just plants, oopathy won't taint them. Please let me say goodbye. It's been a long time since I last came back to Athenius. Did I forget the way? The public garden to the west of Agora. I should be in the right place. Where's Cassandra? Did you think a member of the Athenian Council would meet privately with a Rhodes Islander in a public place? Oh. Took a guess on who it was and I was wrong. Looks like you've been away for so long that you forgot how things work here. Lydia, it was you who wanted to see me. I heard you're the Astronomos of Athenius now. I wanted to catch up with you sometime, but setting up the Rhodes Island branch office took so much time. I know. You've done a lot of things for the infected in the 2 months that you've been back in Athenius. You could hardly have found the time to come home. I don't plan on going home, Lydia. Don't worry. You wouldn't run into those vain relatives even if you went back to the estate. What is it? 2 years ago, the Athapolo family declared bankruptcy and quit the herb business. The remaining family members have since moved out of Athenius. I see. Looks like you really don't care anymore. There isn't much worth remembering about the place, other than my garden. Your mother used to bring you to play with me in the garden. You came to our house after she passed away. I taught you about plants and their fragrances. You showed little interest, but you planted the blue Boronias with me together. Boronias? Boronia, probably. Boronias with me together. Just like the ones here. The storm's brewing. You've really forgotten. Wait, don't tell me. This public garden. This is the flower bed where you studied and planted medicinal herbs. Your parents sold the land to the Athenian government to pay off their debts soon after I became Astynomos. Did you think they would protect it, honor the request of the daughter they exiled? You've changed, Lydia. So have you. Visiting the infected, contacting the healing priests, and even reaching out to Cassandra to make sure the veneration of the traditional heroism by the infected would not get in the way of their treatment. Handling procedure used to be your greatest weakness. Now you've learned to circumvent the parts of the city administration where the power structure is yet unclear and go over the head of the new Astynomos. I see. You didn't come to reminisce about old times. You want to prevent me from talking to the priests. You take the authority to establish and maintain the infected medical system from the Athenian Council and give it to the Astynomos. You picked up on that fast. A lot of parallels with Yerrig. Secular administrator trying to take power from the priests. Except Silver Ash maintained the priesthood's power to an extent. It wouldn't be the first time Rhode Island has dealt with a power-hungry official. What Rhode Island does is in unofficial capacity is none of my business. Be it making visits or distributing medicines. You've already doing it without the communication with the Astronomos. But you know that changes are coming to Minos. Be it the rebuilding of the first temple, the visit of the Sargonian mission, or the establishment of a homeopathy treatment system. The legends of the Minoan heroes are in our blood, but the same traditions have also brought about convoluted governance, inefficient systems, and backwards thinking. You know that better than anyone else. I want to say you can do whatever you want, as long as an homeopathy treatment system is established and my patients get what they need. But you're the only one in the family I still care about. You're my sister, and I don't want you to put yourself in danger. I guess they're like cousins, maybe? I don't know. Because she said earlier your mother, so they're not actually sisters. I wonder if the horns are just like a headband or something. Maybe they're decorative. Maybe she doesn't actually have horns. Looks like our dear ambassador actually did go strolling off to visit the temple construction site. Well, all's well, I suppose. She'll be a fine distraction while I dig into this Astronomos' background. Is the ceremony really delayed, or is she intentionally stalling? If she shows us any disrespect. Make the preparations. We're going to the Astronomos' office. Oh my gosh, another new person? With massive horns as well? We're being spoiled this event. So many horns all over the place. What? Who's this girl? Guards! Another new person? My gosh. Beg your pardon, Your Excellency. This is my traveling companion. We hail from Corinia and Lacedaemon, invited to attend the ceremony as guests. She's passionate about Sargonian culture and insisted on catching a glimpse of the ambassador upon hearing the mission's lodging here. I couldn't stop her. The ambassador? You have sharp eyes. You were invited to attend, though. I haven't heard of anything from the Astronomos. I understand that the venue of the exchange ceremony has not been confirmed. Oh, I shouldn't have babbled then. Perhaps Lydia intended it to be a surprise. I am Periandros, priest of Corinia. We learned about the diplomatic mission to Athenia 6 months ago. 6 months? That long ago? Yes, the climate of Sargon is very different from that of Minos. Lydia asked me to procure Sargonian-made goods from Corinia in order to make you and the rest of the delegation feel at home. I hope you are enjoying your accommodations. Oh, so this was your handiwork. Lydia has devoted tremendous time and effort into ensuring the ceremony's success. Unfortunately, some of the fabric meant for the costumes for the play have yet to make their way to Hierae Cassandra, resulting in a significant delay. Did she mention anything? A play? The Astronomos did mention that plays are part of every important occasion. But who is this Hierae Cassandra? I thought this matter was entirely managed by the Astronomos' office. It all makes sense now. I almost misunderstood what she meant. No wonder she left specific instructions not to use the traditional fabric for classical plays. I'm so grateful for the heads up. The cotton used for this event is a hybrid of Sargonian and Minoan species. They make a smooth, strong cloth that signifies a lasting peace between our two nations. That's why Lydia insisted on waiting. I see. So this is the reason she delayed the ceremony. Delayed? I'm so sorry about that. I really apologize for the trouble. I hope you will not take Lydia's best intentions the wrong way. Very well. It would be impolite to rush her, if she is taking this ceremony so seriously. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. You're too kind. Please make yourself at home for a few days while preparations for the ceremony continue. Don't look at me like that. I came with you when you made 3 rounds of the food stalls in the morning. Only fair that you should come with me here. How much of that you said is actually true? The Sargonian delegation has entered the city, and the Astronomos invited us to attend the ceremony, but she didn't tell us anything about their arrangements. What choice do I have but to figure this out on my own? I assuaged his concerns for her, didn't I? The merchant of Carenia would not be famous throughout Terra if profit were the only thing on their minds. Now, it's not polite to say that out loud.
Let's go! Oh, speaking of which, what was our objective again? I'll take the lead. The rest is up to you guys.
Easy does it.
Medjehtiqedti the Jogger cannot be blocked. Movement speed gradually increases. Movement speed gradually decreases when immersed.
You don't have to reiterate the project goals. Work has already begun. An error message. Your realm has not for your perch.
Finally, am I up?
Oh, that works.
I see clouds rising. Probable hostiles in the snow.
An error message. Your realm has not for your perch.
Oh, they're just going for it now.
Foggy Town won't be any use.
Uh-oh.
Okay, this is awkward, but I'm the only one who knows how to handle the chaos I created.
They slowed down, they slowed down. Thank goodness. Putting those guys to sleep would probably be useful.
An error message. Your realm has not for your perch.
You can't hit that guy, huh? That's okay, we can do this.
It's no use.
Accomplished.
That's a lovely little house. Say no issues with the respiratory tract or vocal cords. The crystals in the lungs have not spread. Meaning that when you came to Rhode Island office a few days ago and stared blankly at our medics, it wasn't because your condition prevented you from speaking. Looks like I didn't have to come personally. You've done a lot for the infected of Athenius, and Rhode Island's medicines is far more effective than what we had before. We all appreciate what you've done. I won't take up any more of your time. Is he also infected? Xanthos is infected, and I thought he was taking care of Xanthos, but is he also infected? checkup alone isn't enough. Minoan policies are relatively lenient when it comes to the infected, with the exception of certain occupations like the priesthood. The everyday lives of the infected are usually not significantly affected. Many people still believe that oropathy saps the Minoan heroic spirit, though. That's why many patients are indifferent about treatment, even trying to hide their conditions. How many fingers am I holding up? 4? Thank you for your concern, Kyria Athopolo. But my condition is mild. The illness has not affected my vision. Then why did you visit Rhodes Island office 4 times in the past 2 weeks? Well, you're not a great liar. Besides, I saw a Rhodes Island monitor bracelet on Xanthos, your mentor. Have you been obtaining medication on his behalf? Yes. He forgets his appointments because he has so many things on his plate. It's only reasonable that I should pick up his medicine for him. But you do not register his name with the office, which means there are no records of him having contracted oropathy. He saved my life, taught me the lore of the water and the art of combat. He's been a good mentor to me. I didn't want people to know. To know that he couldn't be a hero. Visiting the oropathy clinic may color what others view you and Xanthos, but it will not change the path that you choose for yourselves. I'm not Cassandra, and soothing the heart isn't my thing. But I know that both of you need proper treatment. I'll move the 2 of you up to the priority list and follow up closely on your conditions. You can prepare yourselves for a lot of nagging. You're more tenacious than you look. I wouldn't have to be if I could buy your cooperation with a few grains of corn like the foul beast perching on your bow. Sorry. Where is Xanthos, anyway? If your recent reports were indeed his, then he suffered significant fluctuations in internal oranginium levels during this time. He needs rest, as I said. I told him, but... Don't tell me he went to the crossing again.
I'm busy preparing boats for the fruit farmers and craftsmen. Make it quick, Hakademos.
Why isn't Lycaon around to help? I never thought he would let you out of his sight.
He took the day off. Home visit by a Rose Island doctor.
Home visit? Did the medicine he picked up not work? Is he so sick that he can't even walk?
If you came to communicate the Astronomos' suggestion, you're wasting your time. Tell her I'll deal with the problem at the crossing, and there's no need for her to worry.
Actually, she sent me to inform you that the problem has been resolved.
Resolved? Alice acted quickly this time.
No, it wasn't her who came up with the solution.
Who was it then? Did Cassandra calm the people down, or did Astronomos pull another one of her tricks?
Neither. It was the Sargonian ambassador who resolved the dispute between the craftsmen and the fruit farmers. A small feline with dark skin and black ears.
A black-eared feline? The Colombian I ferried at the secondary crossing that morning. She was the Sargonian ambassador?
That pathetic, seasick girl. Ancient Minoans saw the beauty of marble, and sculpted legends and epics with hammers and chisels. In the Sarah walked through war and plague, wearing out 30 pairs of shoes before she arrived at the mountain-rimmed garden. At the site of the first temple, she saw the border split and received a revelation for the gods. Her gentle and wise visage reflected the Athenian morning sun. She protected the refugees who followed her and drove the outlanders out with her sword and her harp. Sings only the tales of the heroes. Is that a statue of Caracera in the back? And I think either way, I think that is a bestial person. Looks like they have a snout. So that'd be cool if Caracera was anthropomorphic. You're familiar with the Carasperea. I love it. I've read it so many times I could practically recite it from memory. Caracera gave me my first impression of the heroes of Minos. A hero must be a paragon of justice and kindness. A hero must face fate bravely when it comes and carry their own burden. You weren't exaggerating when you said you could recite it. But reading words printed on a page doesn't compare to the experience of standing in front of Caracera's statue. There you go. Even if the sculptor exaggerated Caracera's miracles, even if those were not her original arts, perhaps it's this artistic license that makes it feel so alive. I can easily picture it standing in this fertile soil a century or 10 later. Are you thinking you'd be willing to wait for a decade or more for Caracera's first temple to be completed? Is the standard of this statue? Not quite. I want to see as much as I can before the exchange is done and I have to leave Minos. So, Caracera's statue is complete, and the amphitheater has proper steps now. Thanks in large part to your suggestion, the fruit farmers have been working even harder than the craftsmen in the quarries in order to get sunlight to the orchards as fast or as soon as possible. Stone meant for the temple is being used on the Emperor Theater first. I read about it in the books, but the Minoan love for theater is really something. Heroes come from the people, and the people inspire to become heroes, even if only in drama. Have you identified the inspiration for this statue? Caracera and the Outlander, Chapter 11 of the Carasperea. It was adapted into the famous classical drama that is often used in temple ceremonies honoring the heroes. But I visited a few theaters in my time here, and I haven't seen it on the program anywhere. Are plays meant for religious ceremonies banned in normal theaters? No, Caracera and the Outlander is part of the standard classical repertoire. It has not been staged for a century, however, even in the temples. A century? Could it be? Yes, it was banned during the Sargonian occupation. The play setting dates back to before the establishment of Minos as a nation, and Outlanders refers to those not of the ancient Agamem kingdom in general. When the Sargonian Padishahs banned the play, the Outlander executed by Caracera took on a certain meaning. The ban is no more, but to play the Outlander in the play means playing a Sargonian, and no Athenian would be willing to do that. Agamem Kingdom, I believe, is where Conviction says she's from. So that's an older ancient kingdom and before Minos. What a shame. Perhaps to the Minoans, plays are more than just entertainment and art. To be it to the ban on performances or the burning of the theaters, the heroism inherent in the history and legend depicted by the plays is not so easily forgotten, even if no one performs it. And the music accompanying the play can no longer be heard on the streets. Any Athenian can still recite its most famous scenes. That's enough. Now, what is it? The first temple was destroyed by war, and Caracera and the Outlander was banned. There is no denying that Sargon has brought great pain to Minos. The Padishah's order to return the Minoan relic is not so much compensation as political posturing. My role as a Sargonian ambassador is just to escort the relic to its destination. I am not from an influential family, nor do I have a distinguished career. There isn't much I can do. But I'm still the curator of the Varyavanabad Museum, and knowledge will not betray me. The relic I am bringing is associated with Caracera and has great significance to Minos. This should not be a mere political bargaining chip. Titi looks up at the statue of Caracera with her harp. Beautiful and awe-inspiring. She seems to hear the harp sing a song that only the heroes are meant to hear, and see the familiar stories and legends flashing before her eyes. The amphitheater is barely finished. The scaffolds and harps have yet to be taken away. In them, however, Titi feels something special. Something that only belongs to Minos when written in the epics carved into marble by the stone masons. Something that has endured and still stands tall even after a century of oppression. I want to hold the exchange ceremony here. Really? That's an interesting idea, but... matters concerning Caracera's first temple must be discussed with the temple priests. Cassandra, what brings you here? Forgive me for interrupting. There's something I must discuss with Pallas in private, Your Excellency.
Target down. Mission clear. No setbacks.
Well, no 3 levels this time. That's okay.
According to the schedule, you should not be resting here right now, Doctor.
I'm curious what actually is gonna happen in this event. I assume some sort of trouble, probably involving either Lydia trying to take power and causing trouble, or Binwee going rogue and causing trouble. Although Medjehtiqedti did say he's a nice guy, so maybe not. Or those 2 new people who showed up from the other cities. We can E2 her though. Take a moment to do that.
Products received.
6 out of 2. I'm missing 2. Here we go. Do I actually have enough? Did I trick myself again? I do actually.
Products received. Products received.
According to the schedule, you should not be resting here right now, Doctor.
I feel like I could go even higher from here. Wait, what do you mean this is the peak?
You've peaked. She's still so young. Some people peak early.
These are something like the artifact restoration tutorials I watched in Columbia. It looks easy when someone else does it, but the moment you try it yourself, you realize you have no idea.
Healing
what to
defense
even
crowd control tags. I don't feel like we see the defense tag very often. Could be wrong. I assume the new perfumer would have it, right? Nope. Survival. Support and survival, even though she literally has a skill that increases defense. Whatever. I don't know what the tags mean. Also, we're gonna add her to the assistant list.
All my tasks must relate to the sea or Iberia. Huh? You have too much work? Okay.
Kabam. Alright. That's where we shall stop for today. Now. I believe, I know last time I talked about the schedule for this week. I wasn't sure if what was going on tomorrow, Tuesday, but I believe we will have a stream. And probably a full stream. So, in other words, no changes this week. Wasn't sure. That could still change. So, you know. But yeah, I think we should be good for tomorrow. So we shall continue it tomorrow. So until then, thank you all for watching. And may the sands of time treat you well.